2020 sales numbers for the next generation consoles in the UK has been released, and overall it's good news all around. So sales numbers for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S has been somewhat of an interesting number to try and track because of all of the scalping that has been going on and the lack of stock in general with the silicon shortage and the ability to actually create these consoles being limited right now. And before we get into this any further, if you guys are new here and you enjoy what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community so we can have great conversations in the comments below. So sales numbers in the UK have been released for 2020. Now obviously with the series and the PlayStation 5 that only accounts for 2 months worth of sales, but overall in the UK last year over 3 million game consoles were sold, 450,000 were PS5 machines, 310,000 were Xbox Series consoles, and 1.5 million were Nintendo Switch devices. A couple of things that are interesting there. I'm not surprised that the PlayStation 5 has more sales than the Xbox Series consoles in general. The PlayStation as a platform in terms of sales numbers generally is more popular and generally does sell more. Secondly, I would be surprised if by the end of this generation the Xbox Series does have more actual physical sales than the PlayStation 5 because of the strategy Xbox is doing with pushing their ecosystem and allowing people to play Xbox wherever they want, PC, Android, or through the Xbox console. And thirdly, the Nintendo Switch still sells like crazy, and we just recently heard the rumors going around that are like now more serious than they've ever been. I think that a new Nintendo Switch is going to be coming out with a brand new display, an OLED display, and the ability to actually output 4K. So the Nintendo Switch, their current SKU on the market, is still selling like crazy, and they're going to be having a second queue eventually, but obviously that hasn't fully been confirmed yet. But besides that, all those numbers look really great. If you're Sony, if you're Microsoft, if you're Nintendo, you're probably really happy with how the consoles have sold in 2020. This is also interesting that 2020 was a better year for all platform holders, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. And it's crazy because if you think about it, the series console in general was only out 2 months. The PlayStation 5 was only out 2 months, but they managed to surpass their sales for all of 2019, where the Xbox Series delivered around 600,000 in sales. That's up from 500,000 in sales the year before. The PS5 delivered 900,000 in sales, which is up from 700,000 in 2019. And then the Nintendo Switch, to me again, is more shocking than them all, is they sold 1.5 million units, which is up from nearly 1 million in 2019. Again, this is all in the UK, these numbers, but it's pretty impressive if you think about it, because with the launch of the next gen with the series and the PlayStation 5, you would have thought that the Nintendo Switch sales would have severely suffered, and it really seems like that is not the way, and Nintendo just really continues to dominate the hardware sales. So that stuff's all well and good. I personally think that hardware sales in general to the success of this next generation doesn't really mean that much, especially with the way that Xbox is going, the fact that they sell these consoles at a launch, and the fact that with Xbox's ecosystem strategy, they're still selling out everywhere. So it really does show that they're going to be able to sell the Series console no problem, and they're going to be able to gain more revenue and stuff through their subscription service, whether that's people come onto PC, whether that's they come in through xCloud and stuff like that. And we're going to see what happens with these console sales as the availability to create them and produce them starts to increase. They become more available in stores, and the scalping prices start to come down, because that is one of the biggest issues with all of these numbers, is like how many of these sales are scalpers or bots that scoop them up when they go out on release. And I think it probably is a decent amount, which is unfortunate because they're going to be being resold for like $1,000. So all in all, I think these sales numbers are pretty good for what is available, but I also think that if there was more stock available, these sales numbers would be even higher than they actually are, because there is definitely way more demand right now than there is supply. And as soon as these sales go back on sale, they're bought up instantly. And if it wasn't for the bots, it would be all of the consumers who really want these consoles that would be picking them up right away. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to talk about some of these sales numbers that recently got released in the UK. Let me know what you think about them. Do you think that they are good? Do you think that the difference between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox makes sense in terms of the amount sold? And do you think going forward that the hardware sales are something that are really, really important, considering the strategy that Xbox has with their ecosystem. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you are new here and you like what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community so we can have some great conversations in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.